stuff to do, but it can't come to you. And who knows, who you might even score.
I'm Nigel Plaskett, I'm the puppet coach on Avenue Q. Well, I started off as an actor, and then I was asked for a TV programme in the 1970s called Pipkins if I could play character voices. And so I was asked to do a character voice. And then they said to me, could you do the puppet as well? And so I said, no actor ever says no, so I said yes. And that show ran 10 years, and I kind of learnt most of what I know about TV puppetry during that 10 years. Most of my experience with teaching the actors has all been with musical theatre people, and they are very receptive to what I have to give them. So they learn very quickly. But that's the basis of working in musical theatre. So all of the casts that have been in this, the professional versions of this show in the UK, I've taught, and none of them have had experience. I started working for the Jim Henson Company in 1985 with a film called Labyrinth. And while I was working for them, I got to work for Sesame Street International. And there I met Peter Lintz, who was doing my job on Avenue Q on Broadway. And so I then struck up a kind of friendship with Peter. And a little while later, when Cameron Mackintosh wanted to bring the show here, he asked Peter Lintz who could do my job, or his job, in the UK. And I was kind of the only person he knew here. So, plus I'd had the experience of training people to do Sesame Street on the international version. So he knew that I was used to training people. And that's how I kind of got the job. I still had to go through the interview process and so forth and make sure I could do it. But and that was in 2005, so I've been doing it ever since, and that's about 14 years. It has a kind of universal theme. It's a pastiche of Sesame Street. It's not Sesame Street. It's the characters on Sesame Street, what they might move on to in their adult life. But it's something. There's some character there that you probably will identify with, and something that they're experiencing that you've experienced in your life. And as far as the puppets go, it's a very good medium because there's a great empathy for puppets with people watching TV when they were kids, watching Sesame Street, watching all the kiddies programs, playing with their toys, little dolls or Action Man or whatever. There's a kind of natural empathy, I think, for people to like.
So I'm Cecily, and I'm playing Kate Monster and Lucy the Slut. I nearly forgot, but
it never gets normal. I'm Lawrence, and I'm playing Princeton and also Rod. It's like learning to drive a car backwards while it's on fire. It's just kind of like you have no preparation for it until you're doing it. So can you imagine if I've actually done extensive puppet training and just haven't told you? It's like, oh yeah, all these amateurs. No, yeah, it's a totally new skill. 100%.
And the first time you do it, it's kind of like doing the pat in the head, rubbing that. But yeah, when you start getting into it, it just becomes not second nature, because it's not, but it definitely becomes easier the more you do it. So yeah.
Yeah, and like setting yourself little goals. Like, okay, today I'm going to figure out how to move that hand at that point, and it's little incremental stages. So we're going to be grand. It's going to be fine. You share a lot with Lucy.
Yeah. Ouch. No. Yeah, I think with Kate, she's quite prim, a little bit proper. She's got a heart of gold, and I like to think I do too.
I think Rod is quite straight-laced, and once he lets his hair down, he's a hoot, and I think that's quite relatable to me. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. And Princeton, he's just like a nice guy, a nice guy to have around. Invite me over. No, thank you. We don't hang out. Don't bring your granny.
That's the four.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's funny.
Funny. Heartwarming.
No, that's not hyphen,
Okay.
It's just like one big word.
Funny. Heartwarming.
Puppets.
Puppets.
Why?
Cute.
you mean like there's so many, like I see quite a lot of shows, and like sometimes you're like, yeah, cool, okay, but like I feel that this just has such a wholesome, heartwarming message and tale that it's not told in a saccharine way, or it's not like schmaltzy, and when it's funny, it's like really funny, like it's actually genuinely funny, which can be quite rare. I don't want to like poop on other people's shows. I feel really bad about that.
It's all right.
You take this one.
Okay.
You'll be good at this one.
Yeah,
You're
sure.
very positive.
So yeah, it like you laugh till you cry, and you'll cry because it's emotional and it tackles lots of kind of subjects that you might think, oh, that's a bit kind of out there, but then you see it happen in a kind of, it's relatable as well. Yeah, and overall it's just funny and clever and heartwarming at the same time.
Yeah. And you start to really care about these inanimate objects, which is so bizarre, but I think like there's something, because it's from the word go, you see a puppet on stage and you're like, okay, cool, and like 30 seconds in you totally buy it. And I think, it's so relatable, like a lot of because they're just normal people, puppets going through everyday stuff. And I think it's a really lovely way in for the audience to relate and enjoy the story.
Outside.